Hi, last year I made this video. Since then, it's now been a year, and I want to talk about some of the questions that I've been asked throughout this past year and how I'm doing today. Now, if you haven't watched this video, I recommend you going back to my YouTube and watching it so you know what I'm talking about. One of the questions I have received is, why did I make the video and why then instead of earlier on? And truthfully, that's not an easy answer, but let me explain. When my friend that passed, that shared the same experience with me and shared the same hurt, it took me back to the place when I was 19 and I had just lost my church family. It took me back to that place because I was alone again. So I was reliving all of that trauma on top of new trauma and other trauma that I'm not going to speak about. But it was all bundled up and I had to let it go. I truly felt a wave of healing when I shared my story. It's not easy being so vulnerable that anyone can see that. But church hurt happens way too often for me not to want to share. And the main reason is because I remember being so alone and not thinking anybody else felt the same way or experienced the things that I did, and I didn't want anyone else feeling that way. Another question I have received was, what happened after I posted the video? I received hundreds of comments on my Facebook sharing the post, as well as over 50 personal messages. I didn't realize how many people would relate to my story, but it was an alarming amount. And I truly thank everybody that shared their stories with me. It really helped me know that I wasn't alone either. And I'm so thankful for the comments of people telling me that I helped heal them as well. And I don't think you realize that what you did was help me. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but I watched the video again before making this one, as well as reading the comments and all the personal messages I had received. And I'm just so thankful for all the love that I had received. It was very healing. Another question is, did anybody reach out? And yes, one of the past members, I believe, did reach out. Now, they reached out in not a very positive manner. I don't completely blame the circumstances. There had been people sending the videos to the youth pastors as well as some of the other members. And I had explained in another video that I can't control what people say, but that my video was nothing but love and hopefully a learning experience for everybody. To which they had stated that they didn't want anything to do with this, and to which I had said that I never mentioned anybody's name in those videos. To which they responded, I would have had to have told people about the situation and who was involved beforehand, or they wouldn't have been able to send it to them. And that I was wrong to post the video years later, and that I should be over it by now. And however, I don't remember everything that I said back to them, but sitting here now, a year later, looking back, I just have a couple things to say. It does not matter how long it has been. If you go through something, you are allowed to speak about it, and don't let anybody ever think that they have the authority above you to tell you not to speak about an experience that you've had. I was silent for years because I didn't know how people would respond. I was scared of how people would think, and I was scared about being vulnerable. But that's not me now, and it shouldn't be you either. This person that said those things was somebody I would have never expected to turn against me in the end. If anything, I thought that they would have supported me and understood. But still to this day, I do not hold any hate for them. And the last thing I have to say about that situation is, if you're watching this, know that I don't hate you, and that if you ever need to talk about the situation or anything that has happened to you, just know that I will stand by your side and that I still love you. Now, later down the road, probably September or so, I actually decided to reach out to the pastors myself. I decided that if I was going to fully move on from this situation, I wanted to be as transparent and as real as possible, so I apologized to them. I was and am very self-aware that I was not an easy teenager to deal with. And that I was sorry that if there was any given moment that they felt like they failed or felt like they couldn't be pastors, be leaders for me. And they apologized as well and said that they were sorry for any of the pain that they may have given me. And I was even asked to meet them out for like coffee to talk about the situation, to which I had said that I'll think about it, but I never responded. For a while, I did want to meet out with them. I did want to talk about things, but the more I thought about it, the more I decided that maybe that wasn't a good idea. Because what's done is done, and it wouldn't matter because I am not the same person I was back then. I have different morals and values and standards than I did back then, and I like myself better now. Now, I'm very thankful for the opportunity that they had given for me to talk about everything. However, it also felt wrong for me to talk about anything that could have been in regards to somebody that's no longer here or could stand up for themselves. So in a way, I feel like I have an obligation to stand up for her. And I'm so thankful for the friendship that I had with her, and I'm still thankful for the friendship we have now, even though we're not in the same place. Now, there's no hate towards these pastors. I actually quite literally love them just as much as I did back then, and we're on good terms. We have had a few conversations here and there, and there's no bad blood between us. And now I can happily say that that situation is good now. And to which I want to say to my friend that I think those last messages that we sent to each other, where I had said that God is no longer going to let them get away with it, I think we're good. Because although I can't control what they do to other people, I can control what they do to me. And I can control how I feel about the situation, and that chain is broken. The pain and frustration that I had is no longer there, and I'm very thankful to have got to experience this healing process as a whole, and I'm just glad to be a happier person now, because I realized that my friend is with the one that matters the most now. She's closer with them than any of us down here could ever be, and I thank her so much for helping me heal. I'm so thankful for her forever. She has held my hand through this whole process, and I love you so much. Now, I do want to state that although I did accept their apology, I don't believe what had happened was okay. I don't think it's okay to, leave somebody behind or give up in any way. I don't think it's okay if it's happening to you, and if it is, please reach out to somebody. But I wanted to make that clear, like I'm not in any way saying it's okay. But what I am saying is I am now at peace with the situation and that I am okay. Now, lastly, in the comments and personal messages I had received, a lot of people said that I was really amazing to have kept my faith so strong for all these years. And I have to say that that was not the case. For a really long time, I felt like I was betrayed by God, and that how could he let his people do this to me? And I had learned that it was not God, and it was just human. And things only hurt as far as you allow them to have the control to hurt you. And I took that back. And I think that's the end of my video. If you have ever went through church hurt, just know that you're not alone, and that I hear you, and I am here for you. I'm here to listen, and I pray that you heal. God bless everybody. Thank you.